to the Marriage Can Win show. We are live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. And also, tonight is normally where we go on live on the Love Radio Network, but we're going to be running simultaneously at another time. But tonight we have a special guest tonight, and we are so excited because we got a chance to meet with them and talk with them earlier, and it was just great to get together with couples from around the world, and it was just so awesome. So everybody that's joining on, of course, this is Eric and Dr. Sakeisha Heilig. We are your relationship experts, and we ask that you share out the broadcast tonight because we have some special guests tonight.
All right, I am so excited. At Marriage Can Win, we educate, empower, and encourage couples to embrace that marriage can win. And especially going through these challenging times, we thought it would be so amazing to connect with other kingdom-minded couples that are in business and facing the same challenges that you and I might be thinking about. How do I connect with my spouse during this time? Things are shifting and changing. Workload is changing. We're both in the house on a continuous basis. How do we handle that? How do we balance our marriage? How do we balance marriage and ministry and business? So we're going to dive deep tonight. So before we get started, let me share with you who we have with us this evening. We have Kevin and Dana Peck, and they're referred to commonly as the Bladies or the Black Brady Bunch. They have 3 children each. There are 3 girls and 3 boys in the household, ranging from ages 12 to 24. They're transplants from Baltimore and Buffalo, and they're entrepreneurs at heart and work in the entertainment, media, and technology fields. Kevin manages platinum R&B recording artists Drew Hill and Cisco. Everybody remember that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that takes me to a whole nother place. And both he and Dana lend their expertise with Kevin's family business, the Afro-American newspaper, which is the longest running African-American family-owned newspaper in the nation. It was founded in 1892 by John H. Murphy Sr., and they're celebrating 128 years as the most trusted voice of the news and information for the African-American community. Dana's a consultant who helps business owners do web design, social media management, and technical writing. Both were married before, and they learned from those experiences and are committed not only to each other, but to other thriving couples as well. They realize that great marriages are no accident, but a result of prayer and choosing a healthy, happy union on a daily basis. Let me say that again. Choosing a healthy, happy union on a daily basis. So with this new normal pandemic season, they're advising businesses on operating virtually with 4 of their children in the house, ages 12 to 19, as well as their 93-year-old father. So for those of you that are watching, I want you to give a virtual round of applause and a warm welcome to Kevin and Dana Peck.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, if you're from the East Coast, we on a long snow day, okay? It's just like it's a never-ending snow day. If you're from the South, maybe you never experienced that. But if you're from where it snows, it is like you used to in school, you used to wish for a snow day. Now it's like you are eternally slowed in, it feels like. But you know what? We're living the dream. We are living the dream. I'm here with my queen. I'm here with my family. We get to know our family, more intimately. We're spending time with God. It's like, this is the time to plan and to build up.
Yeah.
What you say, young lady?
That's right.
What you say, young lady?
I'm in full agreement.
She's in full agreement. We here. Wow. and we got to keep our minds sharp during this time. We can't get so stagnant. We can't be like, oh, I wish. Well, you got to be where you are in the moment. Like right now, I'm on your show. We just did this whole 2 hours of couples streaming. Wow. Right? We've been in front of this mic and this camera all day, but like when I'm with Married to Win, you know what I'm saying? Is that the name of the show? I hope I didn't say it right. Marriages.
I believe,
Can
right?
win.
Yeah.
Marriages to win. Can win. All winning.
We're winning.
Listen,
winning.
You can't come in here like a loser. You know what I'm saying? You can't like this show and be on this show like you a loser. This is Marriages to Win. So, it's no sports on, fellas, right now, or ladies who love sports. So we want to hear some winning things. So we wanted to hang out. We want to connect with some cool couples who are kingdom minded and sharp. They're about winning, not about, oh, the woe is me. It's like, oh, this is what's up. We married. This is we chose. Like my mother used to say, you didn't put a shotgun to your head to make you get married. Anyway, I digress. Come on, we hanging out. We hanging out with married to win. I love it.
All right. So I have a question for you. Since you brought that point up and you're talking about winning, let's talk about a winner's mindset, because when you're a kingdom couple and you're in business together, one of the things is you want your business to succeed and you want your marriage to succeed. So how do we as married couples and couples together in business, how do we develop that winning mindset?
Well, I think you have to be intentional. And you know what has been very helpful to me is I've been reading a lot of books. This past summer
you flashed it so fast.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to explain Tony Evans' book. It's called For Married Women Only. But this past summer, we had the opportunity to go visit Tony Evans' church.
Oh, wow.
And in preparation, Oak Cliff in Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
And I always wanted to go to like his church or Bishop Jake. So that was like it was our anniversary trip visiting family. And I was so excited to go to his church. And I was like, well, I need to read something that he's written before, just in case, if I get to meet him, but we got to meet him. But I just really think I've been very intentional about reading about marriages and improving marriages, and then reading about testimonials. I read about the Dungies and the Johnsons, all these different famous couples. And was it Willie Moore Jr. and his wife has a great book. And that's been something that's been very helpful to me. So just like when you're honing your craft, we're in technology and we're studying and learning from the experts. You have to learn from the experts, and you have to learn from people who have won. And, through a lot of struggles, as it's not always the positive stories that you really learn from. It's the challenges. And so that's been really helpful to me.
Okay. All right.
Hey, wait. You gotta repeat the question. I got all into it.
Oh, wow. Let me grab this. But actually,
I didn't mean to throw you off. It's just I wasn't listening. Somebody sent me a text message, like I've been up here and kids will text you downstairs. I'm just like, for 1 second. So I don't think I wasn't really in it to win. I'm trying to win in the totality of being the man.
No, we were actually just talking about being able to develop a winning mindset if your marriage is going to win, especially for you guys, like you're a couple and you do business together. For us, we have day jobs outside of the house, but then we have a business together. But what are some of your suggestions or your strategies that the two of you implement to win? And like Dana was sharing with us, that you learn from the ones that have gone before you, that have demonstrated a proven track record. So what's your take on it, Kevin?
Well, I'm the king. And she's the queen. And so in our kingdom, I have to make sure that we dominate. You know what I'm saying? But I have to come under authority to the king, which is Jesus Christ. So my first thing is I got to be good with him.
Yeah.
So that I can lead right. You know what I'm saying? So I can lead as a kingdom man. I got to have my stuff lined up together. And when we play our roles, you know what I'm saying, at home, you know what I'm saying, not in the boardroom or not on business, but at home, God set it up for men to take their position, and a lot of men are out of position, so their household is out of position, right? So I got to make sure that I'm positioned in the right position. That's number one for me. Number two, we know our spiritual gifts, right? And we know our strengths and weaknesses. I'm a visionary. I have an idea a minute in every second.
Yes.
And this is my third and final marriage. And so I said final because I finally, I got in position, fellas. You got to get yourself together and become obedient. Something has to change in order for you to win in your marriage. So once that happened, then I was able to really flourish and really move in the position that I'm supposed to be, right? So my mindset is I'm on a level of battle all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in Ephesians 6:10. I can't buy into what's happening in the flesh in the world, right? I gotta elevate myself out of that mindset and get into, okay, well, what's going on in the spirit? Because that's where we're really fighting. You know what I mean? If I'm down here, I'm fighting low. But I always like the like, let's get a real high view of really what's going on. Then I can slow down and then I can like say, okay, God, what's the move? You know what I'm saying? I got my weapons right. I know how to fight. I know the way to pray. I know the way to take care of my family. And I'm reminded daily that he is the source, not a resource. You know what I mean? Like you said earlier, I'm in the music business, but if you're in sports, entertainment, you're grounded right now. So if 90% of one flow of stream of income was coming from one place and now it's either postponed or canceled, do I lose faith and say, where's the money coming from? I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the king. So the king has the ability to create, right? And to manifest things and to speak life over his family, over his finances, over his business, over his marriage, over his relationship. So in that role, I have to create right now, and I have to seek him because I got to hold God to his promise. Because we were a tithing family. You know, we believe in seed and harvest time. You know what I mean? We're not going to rob God of the chance to bless our family just because we like, that's Old Testament. That don't work anymore. I'm going to tell you, it works. I don't know anybody in the kingdom that's been tithing for 12 months that has money problems. None. I'm not talking about occasionally. I'm talking about when you get, you give. You don't wait till Sunday. You can text to give. You can, you know what I mean? I got to get it out my hand so the seed can get into the ground so that the harvest can come. So I got some harvests coming from some seeds I planted back. I don't know when they come. I don't know how they coming. Who knows? The Alex might say, yo, Kev, Dana, we got something that we could do together. let's lock in. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You just got to be open during this time and not stay low. You got to get high. You got to get in your word. And if you're spending the same amount of time with God and meditating on his word as you did before the pandemic, you are going to lose. If you have been in Christ for a while and you're still crawling around like a baby and you don't want to mature, you're going to lose. That's the word that I have outside of my family. My family knows that God mandated me. So now that's off my shoulders for today. He said, you better pick your side and you better be real clear because I'm a jealous God and I don't go second to anything or anybody. So pick your side and rock with me and you're going to make it through famine, through pandemic, through when it looks like everybody else is doing bad, you're still going to prosper. But you got to pick your side. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You know, we really do love connecting with couples who have that kingdom mindset, because we have a ministry that we used to do online, and we used to do a lot of conferences called Covenant Kingdom Ministries, and so we're all about the kingdom. And I, just as you do, I like that mindset because you know, I'm a visionary as well, and I know earlier I mentioned about you know, there's really two times. There's a defining moment in your life, and there's a defining moment in your marriage. And I had my defining moment in life in another time of uncertainty. I think I mentioned it earlier, and that was around 9/11. And that's where I picked up a Bible and started reading and couldn't stop reading. And that turned me totally around. And it ended up drawing my wife to Christ, you know. And but that's really, there's always a defining moment, like I said. And you know, in your life, and then even in your marriage, where you go to the next level. But yeah, I know what we really, when we talk about a foundation, and it comes to relationship, we through our years, I'm going on 22 years, we have learned, and that's where we started. Our first book was called Marriage Can Win, and we've learned that there are typically three of the biggest issues that causes relationships and marriages to fail or end up in divorce, and it's communication, finance, and sex. And so that's where we came up with the book to come up with the overcoming those three, what we call the Great Divide, with strategies and keys. And so, that's kind of what we were talking about, and where you were speaking about, you hit about pretty much almost all of those areas. But that is really great.
So now that he brought that up,
yes,
one of the things I wanted to think about, one of our core beliefs is, as part of Marriage Can Win, is, part of the pillar of communication is that you have to express what you expect. So when you're thinking about that, expressing what you expect, what is one of your core beliefs in terms of marriage when it comes to the communication aspect?
Well, we have very different communication styles, so that was something that we had to work on. Get
it out.
No, I like to process things. I like to take it in, do some research, get some backup, get some screenshots, get a case together, and present it. Something happens with him, he wants to talk about it right then. And I was like, no, I need a moment because I don't know what I'm going to say right now. I need to go through my phone, go get some resources, back up some scripture, and I don't want to talk about it. So that was the first thing. You have to kind of manage how the spouse communicates. And we know our love languages and all that, but when you're in the thick of it, it's like, I want to go downstairs and take a moment, and he wants to talk about it right now. That's the first thing. What would you say?
Ditto. Y'all like that communication?
And also,
I agree.
Well, also, then you mentioned expectations, and that hits the nail on the head, because I feel like I did not establish like certain expectations before we got married, so we hit some bumps through the marriage, and so I was like, man, I missed it. I was like, I should have said X, Y, and Z, because now things are, went left because I didn't say this is what I expect. So now it's like we're in year 5, something happens, and I'm like, immediate, nope, don't say that, or I don't like that, or that makes me feel uncomfortable. So, before I'm going to take it a moment, but now he's going to hear it right then.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Right.
Do you agree?
Well, that's one thing about marriages that emerge and evolve. You live and you learn, and of course, sometimes you wish you had expressed something, some of your expectation, but that's all a part of communicating, and it's all a part of evolving. And trust me, we had whether it's 22 years, we met 26 years, we've been together 26 years, pretty much half my life I've been with my wife. Through the good, the bad, the ugly, you name it. and we talk about it in our book, and in our next book, Struggling to Keep the Vow, we talk about our defining moment in our marriage. And we're real raw and relevant about it. And so we had to balance business, and that's another thing, because we also connect with couples that are in business and then also in ministry. And so and we like that, like-minded people. So tell me about, I have a question. I know it might be off the script, baby, but my question is, so how do you guys, you've been married 5, you have kids, and you have, family. How do you balance your marriage and business, so they don't override each other or overcome each other? How do you guys do that?
Am I going first?
I'll go first. Okay. All right. So that was a long.
Take your time. Take your time. It's all good.
It was a long, awkward pause, but I think the balance is, wherever you are, be there. You understand what I'm saying? So if you are with the kids, then be like wherever you, like right now, I'm on your show, so I need to be here, right? And then when we get off, we're gonna be at dinner, and then when I'm listening to one of the kids tell me something, I'm gonna be there. And if I talk to her, like, be in that moment, 100% in that moment, so that you get to experience that moment, because moments are so precious. The moment is something you've never seen before and you'll never see again. So you don't know in that moment what you should have done. Just like it's a loved one who maybe you need to call, and maybe I'm telling you this now and you're hearing it, and you say, oh, so-and-so lives alone. Maybe they want to just talk to somebody for just a second. So in that moment that it comes to your brain, be in that moment and not just in a hurry. Oh, I checked on so-and-so, you know what I mean? We really check on them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes during this time, God is saying, don't be so selfish. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to serve others and get out of your own agenda. And I think you can get the balance if you don't be so selfish. That's going to be what I take away from that.
I think also we work together and we have separate responsibilities within our work. So I think we can appreciate each of our strengths. And so I do my thing, he does his thing. And now in quarantine time, I might be downstairs working, he might be upstairs. He likes to be on the phone. I like to type. I like to be behind the scenes and do things. And I can rock and roll with that all day, but he likes to be on the phone. And I like to watch certain shows and do my work. But, having all the kids here and my dad here, I have a lot of other responsibilities. So it's easier for me to be downstairs. So it's kind of like I'm at work downstairs and he's at work upstairs. And then when we need to work on a product together, which I think is really fun. I think when I always had dreamt of the perfect marriage for me, I wanted to be working with my spouse. And it's really awesome that we can balance each other's strengths and make something. Like we create websites or we do branding for companies, and that's really exciting. And we can help with our family business and lend our expertise in a different way, but together we serve on board together. So we really have, I think, enjoyed working together pre-pandemic, and then now we're just tweaking it a little bit because we're not gonna be in the same room for 24 hours.
Right, we're traveling all around the world. Like each room is a different country. Okay, that's how we moving. But listen, fellas, listen in close. This is why it's the third and final marriage. When a woman tells you that she is here to help and make your dreams come true and here to serve you, I'm done. It's like, boom. I mean, it's like I've never had.
I didn't say that yet. I said.
Okay.
Okay, let me say it first.
Okay, go ahead and say it. Let me hear you say it.
Okay, I am here to make his dreams come true, whatever that may be.
Let me zoom in. I said it again.
Hey, fellas, when you find a gym like that, look, listen, women, if you're that gym, be available. Fellas, say he that findeth. Not she that findeth, okay? He that findeth a wife. So you got to do some seeking. Now, if you are quarantined and doing some seeking, you kind of do some really good seeking because you can get to know a woman, right? In her mind, not in her body, you know what I mean? Because you're men, we're going to go there anyway because that's just how we are wired as men and some women. But now is the time where you can you hold a conversation with a person? Are you interested enough, like back in the day in high school when you couldn't even get to each other? There wasn't no technology when we were in high school like that. It was like call waiting. Like call the weather at 1 a.m. in the morning and then ring my phone so it'll be on call waiting so it don't wake your mama up. You know what I'm saying? You got to call the time, the weather, whatever you could do.
Be on the phone with your best friend.
Yep, and then there's merge the call in. Your mother just wake up, go to bed, and pick that phone up late at night. You're done. But anyway, that was how it was back in the day. You fall asleep, you had so much to talk about, and now you married for 100 years and you have nothing to talk about. All of a sudden. What happened?
Right. Well, pre-pandemic, Kevin traveled every weekend, and then sometimes he'd be gone for the week while he was working at the paper. And so we have always had a great phone relationship. Okay. So even when he was not present, physically present, it doesn't seem like he was really gone because we're working on a project or we're always on the phone, communicating some way about something that we're working on. So I can handle, the distance because he would probably be home maybe 20 to 30% of the time. Wow. And so this is definitely this is a new normal that he's here all the time.
Okay.
Anything you do for 30 days becomes a habit, I think.
Yeah, baby. So this is your time to tell me that you're going to you're gonna bring all my dreams come true. Okay, we're on the spotlight. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, whatever you said, baby.
Hey, ladies, it works. Mean it though. Don't just say it. Don't just say it.
I am very serious. I take my role as his wife very seriously because I do feel like I've always wanted children. Check. Always wanted to work for President Carter. Did that. I have a husband that we can work together. Check. So I feel like I've already reached. I mean, I have other things I want to aspire to, but I can take this time out in this season to help him with his dreams. I'm helping him with the kids. Like I feel like that's my role now. Like I'm stepping back and speaking life into his life and helping him and the kids because I feel like that's my role now, and I'm totally comfortable with that.
She's a good chef too, fellas. She cook. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I come downstairs. I mean, my plate is set up. I sit down. I put my little computer right here, and she comes. She's like, "What you having today? You having pancakes? You having waffles? You want eggs? You want some potatoes?" It's like I'm gonna.
You get me in trouble here, Dana.
Don't mess it up. See, when you get obedient, right, and you get in order and you line up, it's like your house is in order. You know, that's the beauty of the whole thing. And I'm not saying everybody is going to be how Dana is, but I'm saying that's what she's been for me.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't care. You know how people used to say, if so-and-so came, I don't care if I'm married.
What's the past? Like, what's the past? People say,
whatever. I'm not losing this relationship for nobody. And that's anybody who's everybody, you can forget it. Don't email me, text me, don't even do. My wife she can go on my phone right now. It ain't no secret. If you guys still have secrets, then you need to grow up. Because you're going to it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Gaming is out.
Yes.
Pandemic is if you ain't got it together now, you better grow up today. I'm telling you.
Yes.
You cannot sneak in the bathroom with your phone and talk to any side nothings. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like just stop it. Okay. Just if you value what you have and you value your commitment to God, don't mess it up. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, it's painful to mess it up because of just a small bad choice.
That's great. You know, that is something that couples really need to realize. And really, I take it to the maturity level of relationships because, I spoke about it before. It's that level of going from boyhood to manhood, and then from manhood to husbandhood, and from husbandhood to fatherhood, and the same for the woman, going from girl to woman to mother, and mother. I mean, actually, wife to mother. Right. It's that maturity. Once you get to that level, you learn to enjoy and respect and cherish each other because they're your best friend. They're the one that you can depend on in life. When emergencies hit or something happens, you can depend on your spouse.
You gotta be able to trust them.
You can't depend on, as they call, the girlfriends, the side pieces, because they have motives. They're down for motives, for money or whatever the case. But when you've been with that person and you can depend on them, that's something worth cherishing and working with. So, and the thing what I like and I heard from you is that selflessness. If you spend all your time trying to please your spouse and they spend all their time trying to please you, nobody's getting left out.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That's right. They said for a time of fasting and praying for those who are with me. They said don't defraud each other. You know what that means? That means when he want to come together, or like they say back in the Old Testament, they laid with each other. They knew each other.
They knew each other.
In the famous word, they knew each other.
But you know what? Kevin makes it very easy because I can feel very confident submitting to him and his role as the king, as he said, because he's submitting to the king. But
there you go.
It makes it, like he said, if it's not in order, it's not going to work. And that was something that Tony Evans in this book kind of emphasized, that there's a certain order.
Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
That the primary responsibility for the health of a marriage falls on the husband. and he sets the tone, because like something will happen. I was like, well, you setting the tone. Let's go. Get that tone right.
Say when she sleep, I'm sneaking and reading the book. No, I'm not.
Sometimes, so you have to choose. Like if we have some issues, I'll say, you know what? I'm just going to let him handle it. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, oh, never mind. I told God and he's going to handle it.
And he does.
Right.
And I was thinking about something that that we were talking about earlier when Eric was talking about his defining moment, and back in 9/11 when he turned his life back over to God, it impacted our entire household, because husbands don't realize the ability that they have to impact their entire family. Because I turned my life over to God, but wasn't really living like I should. But just watching the peace that he had when he got up, we had gone through all kinds of stuff, job loss, and he turned his life over to God. And it's like literally every morning he's up there reading the Bible. I get up, go to work, I come home 8-9 hours later, he's still at the table reading the Bible. And honestly, I was in my flesh. I'm like, you couldn't have put some food in the oven or something? I mean, I've been gone for 9 hours, but it's a peace that he had, that he was bringing into the household when he was spending time with God. So even during the midst of that situation, he had peace. And I was like, I was getting mad. I'm like, I want some of that, because I'm just mad and frustrated and tired. And he's like, look, sit down and read the word with me. Stop fussing all the time. And I had to learn. But we have the ability, and you have the ability to shift the atmosphere in your home. I'm more than happy to follow. I have no problem with that. But it took me just being able to sit there and witness the change taking place in his life. And that's impactful, and it carries down even to the kids, because, sometimes you talk to your kids, they're like, yeah, mom, yeah, dad, whatever. But then when I hear them talking to their friends, and they're starting to say the same things that they heard my husband say, and they're encouraging their friends and speaking life into their friends, it's like, whoa, you not only shifted me, you started to shift our whole family.
That's right.
And that's impactful. So I would really, really encourage, wives, especially when our husbands are getting to that point where they're focusing on God, not to interrupt, to encourage them. And if their spouse is not a believer, to continue to pray for them. If the wife is a believer and the husband isn't, pray for them, because God can, bring about a change in that husband's heart, and it can begin to shift the entire atmosphere in the home. So for me, that was amazing.
Yeah. It's really, it really falls in order. The Bible gives us the blueprint, especially Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the blueprint of Jesus Christ. And as the husband follows the blueprint of Jesus Christ, the family follows the husband. So it's all in line. Jesus, husband, and wife, family, and that's kind of the order it should follow. So all we have to do is, if you have, and that's good for singles, when you meet a man and you see that man is following Christ, and then he's the candidate. Marriage. It's a candidate. But yeah, that is just really awesome. I love to hear that. Go ahead.
But I had one question for the Pecks, because couples that are working together in business during this time, like are you able to separate the business aspect from the marriage aspect? I know, Dana, you were saying that sometimes like you work on one floor, Kevin works on another floor, and we respect the husband as the head of the house. But then when you're working in business together, and you might have, like, your wife might be stronger in certain, how do you handle balance that? How do you balance that?
So in other words, like, for us, we make sure that we take a date night, or we take a vacation. Of course, we do family vacation, and we are long overdue for a vacation for just you and I. So in that aspect.
Okay, well, yeah, we're good at that, because we designate actually Tuesdays as date night, and so we try to identify that once a week as far as that. But it seems like I don't think we ever stop working, because we're always like, oh, did you hear about this new technology, or it said this or that, or we need this to do for the afro, or have you seen that? And that, I just can't turn that off. But we do enjoy, watching series together, and we really enjoyed also reading the Bible together. We do a different kind of Bible study through the Bible app, and we'll do some devotions. together. And I think that helps with the balance to try to get them outside a little bit more. I love to be outside. I'm an outside kind of person. I want to be in the sun. He likes to play golf, and I've learned how to play some, but I just like to be in the cart and be outside and have some snacks. But I'll be out there with them. But I think also for each of us to enjoy our friends and things that we enjoy doing by ourselves, and then coming together and sharing some things. Like, he's a big Ravens fan, so football season, we go and watch the game with the Ravens fans, and I go because I'm like, it's a party. I'm not cooking. There's some food. There's gonna be a DJ, and so I don't care really what happens with the game. But if they win, okay. I was like, yay! But I'm there for the party, and I'll be there to cheer. But I think it's just appreciating what each other enjoys doing and participating in that, and then having some space to do your own thing.
Let me tell you something, fellas. She doesn't nag me at all. She doesn't get on my nerves. She don't like shopping too much. I mean, if she did, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm like, God, I'm good. I'm like, whatever I did when I lined up, I got a gem. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when it said Christ, love your wife love your wife like Christ loved the church. It was just like, before in my life, I used to say, man, Christ must have really, really loved the church if you got to be married. But but now in this new marriage,
I think it's like a switch. A switch went off with you and me, and when you're in the right timing, then it works. But you have to be we don't have to be on the same level, spiritually, in a sense that we know everything the same and we agree on everything on every point, but it's a switch, and it's the decision. It's the daily decision. And I think that's made all the difference. I mean,
right. And I like I'm a gamer, right? And I've been playing Madden since back in college, and I still like to play Madden. And in our room, we got a big 75-inch screen, you know what I mean? And she'll watch her shows on the computer. That's the Fist of Ratchet, whatever those shows are, The Bachelor, Lifetime, whatever. She'll put her little headphones on, be sitting next to me. I'm playing Madden on silence while I'm listening to a sermon.
I'm laughing and I'm crying.
Or I'm learning, and she's out loud. Oh my God. I was like, what happened? Somebody died on Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But we right next to each other. She's in her world. I'm in my world. Like, if it's something, because we stream a show like you guys as well on Monday nights called The Family Biz, and we're always looking for ways to better our stream. So if I don't know something, I found out a long time ago that all the answers are there. You just have to know the right questions to unlock it. So even when your friends ask you a bunch of questions, sometimes that they can ask that same question to Google.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, do I look like a search engine? I'm just wondering, like the time you took to call me that you could have just, but a lot of people don't know how to ask the right question. Even like if you're looking for, down to a purple chair, like give me a purple chair that's leather with white trim on it and wooden legs that's under $500. Like, get specific. Not only in your business, you know what I'm saying, but get specific in your search for the answer that you're looking for in business. And I'm like, and be tenacious about it. When you work for yourself, it's no sleep. I go to bed like 5 o'clock. I'm like, why am I going to bed at 5? No, it no matter what, I gotta have a snack after a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? I need some oil cookies. I need something by the bed to make it through. I got my bottle of water. I got my vitamins. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying she sleep. She stayed up later. She used to take a nap and be good at during the day and pop up.
Now,
she don't take it. Like we're on
you.
European time, so I don't know what it is. I go to bed at 6. People say, when can we meet? After 12. No mornings. Nothing. You know what I mean? I'm sleeping from 6 to 11. I'm getting that 5 hours in during that time period. But it's like my mind is racing so much with ideas, businesses, thoughts, the family. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's going. And we started a family Bible study. So the first lesson during this pandemic was faith over fear. You know what I mean? Because there was so much fear in the atmosphere, even in the body of Christ. There was still a lot of fear, even though we don't have that spirit. of fear. You know what I'm saying? It was a real anxious moment for some people. And we came up with like 34 scriptures. Like, when you feel this way, start reading who you are in Christ. So we gave them, here's your list. As soon as your mind goes to what's going to happen tomorrow, am I going to die?
Did you wear your gloves?
Right.
Why you have to go outside?
Yeah.
Listen, I grew up in Baltimore, right? You could get, or anybody who's grew up in the inner city, like, are you going to make it past downtown? I mean, are you going to get, you know what I'm saying? Are you going to get shot? Are you going to get hit by a car? Like, you don't really know when it's your time. But today, while you can hear our voice, you can know if, in fact, you have made God your king. You can say, look, I'm down with whatever I got to do. If I haven't done it yet, like you had your aha moment in 911, and when you had it, you didn't want to be a baby, because that's why you read the word. So you can grow up fast, very fast, by just reading the word and getting to know God. Or you could be saved for years and never read your word.
That's true.
And never really have a relationship, and you still stumbling over a little curve. You know what I'm saying? Somebody says something boo to you and you crying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. It's like, grow up. You know what I mean? Like Christians are punks. You know what I'm saying? We not no doormats. You know what I mean? David wasn't no chump. I mean, he knocked the giant out. He said, he said, look, Elias, look like you on the wrong side. That's like the pandemic. He said, I got God on my side. This is your time to fall, baby. You done met the wrong guy. You don't know who I got on my team. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get the right MVP on your team. You know what I'm saying? You got to put God and Jesus Christ. You can't, don't be like a closet Christian during this time. Don't cover them up. Don't put a basket over the light. Now is the time to be the light for somebody who is like going bananas right now, who doesn't understand what's going on, who can't cope. And you can tell every time I answer the phone, they say, how you making out? I said, I'm living a dream. They like, what? You living a dream? Yeah, because this is a time that I've had dreams that I needed to work on for a long time that I hadn't had time to, but now I can work on, because I am now still living, right? I still have dreams, and I need to get to work on them. So if it's something that you have to do, get to work on it. Stop playing around. You know what I'm saying? A little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding of the hands. You know what I mean? God said, those who love to sleep, poverty follows you around. If sleep is your thing, guess what? So is being broke.
That is true.
Hey,
so I tell you, before we wrap up, we still have some time, but before we wrap up, tell us a little bit about some of the events, or tell us about your show, or if you have any conferences coming up or virtual conferences. Let all the listeners know a little bit about your business and some of your events.
Well, like Kevin mentioned, every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern through the Afro-American newspaper page, Afro-American News. So hopefully you can find that on Facebook and follow us. And you'll really, the Afro, since he's mentioned, has been around for 128 years. And the Afro is committed to sharing our story. And so now more than ever, we need to hear our story, especially with respect to COVID-19, because our communities are being disproportionately affected by this. So you will find features and testimonials from people who have had the disease, people who have survived, people who are managing through the times. And so I encourage you to visit that Facebook page, and that is where we broadcast every Monday night. And we feature a different industry every week. So I encourage you to reach out to us through that Facebook page if you're interested in being featured.
Hey,
and then I think you were mentioning, we don't have any personal events coming up, but if you had an event that's coming up and you want to continue that, since we're in a new normal now, we have this amazing virtual conference platform that will allow you to have a similar feel instead of being in person. If it was your college reunion or your high school reunion or a conference, a meeting for your business, a networking meeting, we have this incredible platform that we'd love to share with you as well.
Okay. So virtual conference platform. That is awesome. Now, I want to swing back a little bit because we started talking about finances, and we were talking about people just really need to be in pursuit of what they should do during this time. I think this is amazing. I know I hate that we're going through the dealing with COVID-19, but I do think that, everything that happens for a reason. But I believe that God is also, during this time, we have the opportunity to take advantage or to step out and expand and really focus on some of the things that God is calling us to do. And with that being said, you start talking about finances a little bit. So I wanted to ask, as far as your thoughts in regards to building and protecting wealth for a family, because you mentioned that you're going, that your mind is continuously going. Mine does that too. My husband's wondering why sometimes I'm walking around 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm starting to think of business ideas and people to interview and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on like building and protecting wealth for the family?
Okay, one, you can't beat God's math. Right? So if you don't know about Malachi 3, just read the whole chapter. That'll get you together in the kingdom. You know what I mean? If you haven't taken the step to say, okay, I'm down with the kingdom, take that step first. And then, God already, he set up laws already that are available to you to get wealthy. And then he gives you wisdom. Okay, everybody is like, well, I might not be that wise. You are. In James, it says anybody, which I found astounding. Said anybody can ask for wisdom. But here's the thing. When you ask for that wisdom, you got to believe he's going to give it to you. If you doubt the ask, like you're asking something, but you doubt you're going to get it, you're not going to get it. So you have to ask in that particular manner. That the wisdom is, you got to take God for his word, because he doesn't go back on his word and stand on what he promises you. Now, from a family, you got to get your family in order, whether it's a will, whether it is a trust. You have to begin to study money. You have to begin to study banking. I mean, Jesus talked about money more than he talked about prayer. He was not the lowly Jesus in the dusk. They said his family went to the inn. Okay, so the inn was like the Hyatt or the Marriott back then, right? But there were no rooms. It didn't say he automatically just got on the dirt floor and was born. It said that he went to the inn first, and there was no room. So his family had some money because they could pay for that, right? And then when he was being chased and pursued for those 3 years, they didn't talk about them needing anything. His family was like a builder, like a developer, carpentry, and whatever else they did. So they were able to stay on the move, on the run for 3 years. This guy had a doctor, attorney, he had an accountant rolling with him. He had a whole squad rolling with him. He's not the lowly. Listen, do you know any kings in another country or are any of them broke? I don't know any king's kids that don't have it all. Now, if we are the king of kings kids, our mentality about wealth and finance can't be, I'm supposed to be in poverty. No, you're supposed to make as much money as possible so that you can sow it into the kingdom of God. So much overflowing is the law. So it's like, if you have sown little, you're going to reap little. And God is not a genie, but it's just a law. You know what I mean? And once you learn to apply that law and to hang on to that law, he multiplies it. He multiplies your seed. His math isn't 1 and 1. 1 and 1 could be 1,000. In God. But use your wisdom. You get your paperwork in order. You get your will in order. If now, never than any other time in life, you got to know that you got to pay your tithe first. Pay yourself what you put in the savings account for in case of pandemic or something happens. You got to have 6 months, a year, maybe even 2 years worth of salary or expense, money that you can live if something happens. And if you don't have it, then okay, this is really where I need to work at this moment. This is what I need to get together. Like, something has to be sacrificed. Some shoes, some shopping, some eating out. You know, you're not eating out much, so you might be trained to do more cooking now. Like everybody might be, even the ones who can't cook. You know, just try and read all the recipes of the greats are available on YouTube. You know, it's like how to make toast. All right, now you turn that around to the right. Don't burn it now. Don't burn toast. It's like you can read those instructions, but if you are able to really just take a hold of, God has already laid it out. You know, it's like, I like how some people are like, man, I don't believe that, but I do believe this. This is the same book. I'm like, so you saying if you was a bicycle, if somebody gave you a bicycle and you said to the bicycle maker, I believe the brakes work, but the tires don't. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you saying? You didn't create yourself. God, you got to believe the manual, right? You got to believe that it works. And if you don't, then that puts you in a deficit, you know, and that puts your finances in a deficit, it puts your family in a deficit, and that puts your life in a deficit, all because you just didn't believe. So I'm gonna leave that as they call a dangling modifier. Let it dangle right there for you, okay, for a minute.
Okay.
Wow. So one of the things I want to mention in closing, well, I do want to say a quick hello to a lot of the people that have been watching us live via Facebook, to Craig Talley, who's been watching, Marita Sutton Brown, Ramona. I can't see everyone, all the names on the screen, but do want to tell them thank you. Make sure you share it out. And I kind of wanted to close with these 5 keys, because we've been talking about kingdom couples and successfully navigating this pandemic or this crisis, but there are 5 keys that we stand on in order for a marriage to win. And number 1 is prayer. Prayer is definitely essential during this time. I mean, there's no excuse. You got the time. It's, you know, you used to say, oh, well, you know, you've got so much going on. You can always make time for prayer. If you have to get up early while the kids are asleep, you know, go in the bathroom for a few minutes. So definitely make sure prayer. Number 2, you need to position yourself. And like you said, Kevin was saying, we were talking about being strategic during this season, that, you know, God has really given us and equipped us with the tools that we need in order for our marriages to win, in order for our businesses to win. But we need to make sure that we position ourselves. And number 3 is going to definitely be partner with other like-minded individuals, other couples, other people in the same business. If you think about it, we do not have to reinvent the wheel.
That's right.
You don't connect with, like even Dana was talking about, study and get the books from those that have gone before you, those that are, you know, that have a proven track record. So that way that your marriage can win. And number 4, persevere. Because it's very, very easy for couples to give up during times of testing, and testing areas or times such as these is very easy to say, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel. I just, you know, he's here all the time. I can't take it anymore. But you have to understand, when there are some trying times, if even speaking from the perspective of a mother, of anybody listening out there, if there's something going on and there's something my child needs, there's something that my family needs, I'm not going to let go until that's taken care of. So we need to persevere just as much when it comes to our marriages. And number 5, just prioritize. Make sure that we're still making our marriages a priority. I learned the hard way. You don't want to put your spouse on the bottom of your to-do list. Just don't do it. So if you want your marriage to win, you know, those are 5 keys during that time, especially for kingdom couples. But before we close, Dana and Kevin, we'd like for you to give some words of wisdom to the couples out there that can help them in order for their marriages to win in this new normal.
Also, you want to share your contact information just in case someone wants to get in contact with you, like your social media, website, or email.
Okay. I think I'll go first, and I'll add a P, proportion.
Yeah. Okay.
So some people will say a marriage is 50-50, but the dissolution of marriage may be 50-50 in some states, but it should be 100-100. You know, everyone give the most that you can give. And some days I might be giving 100, he might be giving 150, you know, or I may be giving 150 and he's giving 100. And I think something that Kevin said earlier is there about being present. but also about
You took my word. That was my P word.
Present? Oh, sorry. Okay,
Don't worry about it. I gotta go through. We won.
Yes, but you gotta give all that you have. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to get the leftovers. I don't want, after he's been on the road and he's coming back, like he doesn't have any time for me. It's like while he's on the road, he's calling me. I'm on my way to sound check. Oh, let's look at this. Oh, I saw your website. That's great. Maybe you need to do this or that. Like I don't want the leftovers.
Right.
I want the first too. Well, after God, then give me the best too.
Yeah.
And I think that's being very intentional. So it's the proportion. And so,
Okay.
what's your P?
You took my P away now.
No, I
Okay.
didn't say
Anyway,
that.
we'll be like, my last name is Peck. Anyway, so impeccable. Anyway, I was gonna go with be present. You know what I'm saying? But my words of wisdom, fellas, is the 4 S's.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the 4 S's, ladies. This will get your man together forever. Okay, number 1, you gotta have some supper, right? He's gotta be able to eat. Number 2, he's gotta have sex. And this is not a certain order, but this is a gotta have. This is the 4 S's, right? So we got
supper, sex, support,
right?
Yeah.
And I used to say the 4th S was shut up, but that is not proper. It's not. You don't tell your wife to. You don't tell your wife to. The last S is silence. Just a little bit of silence, just for a second. Can we get a little bit of silence? So we got supper. Man, gotta eat. Ladies, if you think cooking is not it, it is. It's everything for us. Okay, support. We need that encouragement from our chief
cheerleader.
We need you to say, boom, we support you, we rock with you. You know what I'm saying? And sex, I'm gonna say that's up there with breathing air. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on it. Okay. And if you need some help, work on it. I mean, just keep working. You know what I mean? You can't be selfish. That's gonna be the 5th S.
Oh, yeah.
So take that out of there. But every now and then the fellas just need a little silence. So that's my wisdom. If you don't remember anything else, ladies, the 4 S's, that you can get your man to do anything. He will do anything if those 4 S's are intact.
Now, how can our listeners and our viewing audience get in touch with you, like social media or emails?
Let's go to shoot. We're gonna put it in the thread on Facebook, and we got to get to see. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Okay, like we streaming live, right? But then there's a delay, a broadcast delay that's on Facebook. So if we watch Facebook now, we would be behind. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna type it in the chat. Because that's easy. Because I just hate when somebody says, "Yeah, you can find me on Facebook and you can find me on Instagram." And they're like, "What did you say again?" Nobody gets that as fast. It's just like we're gonna type it in there so that it is there.
Okay.
As a historical comment that if you want to get in touch with us, we're around. You know what I'm saying? So, we are here. You know what I mean? We solve some business problems. You know what I mean? We help you look. I like my word, tech sexy. You know what I mean? You guys look amazing. You know what I mean? You got your lighting right. You got your microphone. You got your overlays. You got look at that. Boom. You got the running. I like that. I thought we watching ESPN. You got a nice ticker going on. I'm gonna talk to you about the ticker later. But everybody's doing these Zooms and these digital and virtual meetings. Get your stuff together. Some of you are in the wrong light, and it's not because you mean to be. You just gotta know. You know what I'm saying? Put the light behind the camera. That's the start. Just like when you're doing a selfie and you looking around outside to find the best light, it's the same thing online. And how your brand comes across, and how you come across, and how you sound, and the clarity of it. You ever been watching the stream and it's like that means it's time to get your internet speed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It means you're too far from the router, or you should need to plug in. But anyway, those are my beyond consultant tips that I've shared with you tonight. Use them wisely, Daniel.
All right. Well, I really appreciate the technical tips, the relationship tips, the business tips, the
spiritual
finance tips, the 4 S's. We really appreciate having Kevin and Dana Peck on the show tonight. They were really an awesome couple who really shows you how to work together in the relationship and in marriage and business and balance their lives and really excel in all areas of their lives. So we'd like for everybody to remember to catch us every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock on the Love Radio Network, where you can get a catch of all of our shows. You can get the past shows, and you can catch up on those. This is a time where during this quarantine, or what we call the stay-at-home time, this is where you can get those tips and strategies so that you won't be arguing and get kicked out of the stay-at-home. You don't want to be that husband that's out in the street and they be like, wait a minute, it's the police come by and say, look, this is stay at home. You're supposed to be and you be like, my wife kicked me out. But you don't want to go to jail, so get back in that house.
Oh my God. But just a reminder to all the couples out there that you can be the change you want to see in your relationship. And again, thank you so much to Kevin and Dana. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure that you guys stay connected to them. Thank you so much to everyone that's watching the broadcast or watching the replay. Let us know. Definitely give us your comments and your feedback. And again, we want to thank you guys again. It's been an amazing time. And thank you again, because I know you said Tuesday night's normally your date night, so we really appreciate it.
We're dating right now. Everything is a date. You guys got to stay in the moment. Hey, we appreciate you guys. Keep pouring into other couples. We pray that God will pour it back into you, into your family. We don't take, nobody's just up here and just broadcasting for the sake of broadcasting. You're broadcasting hopefully to change somebody's life, help somebody's relationship in marriage. And your name is awesome. Your energy is awesome. And we really appreciate being invited and just everything that you do in the kingdom. And we pray that their blessings come back to you, family, and your business a millionfold. You know what I mean? I'm not going to speak little. You got a chance to speak. You be like, well, how much you want, Lord? Give me $100. No. Give me $1 billion, okay? You take the 100, and I'm going to take the $1 billion.
There you go.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Have a great night.
Everybody have a blessing.
All right.
We want to thank you for joining us today on our broadcast.
Let's keep the conversation going. You can connect with us via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel under Marriage Can Win.
Also, you can join us 24/7 on our Marriage Can Win podcast at www.themarriagecanwinshow.com, and also connect to us at marriagescanwin.com.
Remember, you can be the change you want to see in your relationship. Until next time, see you soon.